Right, we've gone live, we're on the wrong channel, but that's alright, we can do this as a one-off. Welcome along, this is Kerb Clippers. My name's Fry. This is the British GT mixed class GT3 and GT4s. Qualifying just getting underway. We've had a few technical glitches with the standard Project Cars 2 connection issues, but we got a bit of a race. We lost a couple of drivers to connections. I think we still got 9 GT3s and 5 GT4s. Right, just waiting for some times to come up on the board here. Let's have it set up. Riding on board with Mr. Blankfire in the BMW Z4. Probably coming round to set his first time for the day. Buzz puts in a 206.289. That's more like it, I think. 2 minutes, 0.8 from blank far. Sets the benchmark for the GT3 guys. First time in GT4 comes from Redwood. Get that for you, puppy. There you go. Oh, DB Kong immediately betters it with 2:13 dead. It's got about 12.2 seconds currently between the classes. So wait for a few more GT4 times to get registered. Okay, getting out there in the Mercedes. Satis looking fantastic in the Mustang. I'll give you a full run through in a minute once everyone's got a time on the board so we've got a bit of order to it. Motor Master waiting to come out of the pits. Welcome everyone in the chat. Evening, folks. just waiting for qualifying to really start to get interesting. Give you a little run through of everyone we got here that's not chilling in the pits. Dazzler, the number 6 McLaren. Brambo in the bright red Porsche. Number 99. Atto, he switched out for the Skyline in the test race to drive the M6. Number 176. Banana yellow. Buzz is in his standard issue green Renault. Whitford in the Ferrari. And then finally rounding out the GT3 runners who set a representative time. It's Kev's in the 44 Audi. And Matty in the 123 Mercedes Benz. And then we go on to GT4. We got DB Kung in the Ginetta, number 60. Number 27 for Redwood, another Ginetta. Satis in the 192 Mustang, crowd favourite already, I think. G32 Turbo. And the number 95 Ginetta. And Motormife also in the Ginetta. Number 71. Oh, and looks like Mark's just managed to join in as well in another Ginetta, I believe. Actually, is he in a Porsche? I think Mark's in a Porsche. We do have a Porsche in the race. Sorry again for this being on the complete wrong channel. It's meant to be on Curb Tippers, but my PS4 has tripped out and there's nothing I can do about it now. But I'll make sure it's sorted for next week. Blankfeld looking good on pole at the moment. In the 35 BMW, by the way, we didn't get a chance to check him out before. And there's Johnny in the Audi as well. Pumping those heat. Those tyres full of heat. Blank enjoying a 4/10 advantage at the moment on pole. Also enjoying the scenery by the looks of it. Meanwhile, in GT4, DB Kunz got pole position. Oh, looks like they're having connection issues for Mark. Now, maybe he's just got in the wrong car. Hopefully we'll be back in. And that's my dog, Riddle. He's saying hello to the people. And stare at me blankly. Hello. Oh, what did you... Oh, you lost your ball under the chair. RKC saying if Blank doesn't check it early, then we're money is on R2 today. I think they're the big two in GT3 as always at Curb Clippers. The two main men to beat. Currently 1 and 2 on the grid in their banana yellow BMWs. Enjoying a little bit of a gap over Brambo and Johnny. Johnny Dazza and Matty are all pretty close together, and Whitford as well actually. Nice little bunching up there. Got Johnny heading into Cops. I might get some bets. Probably a little bit too far back to pick up much of a toe off the 44 ahead. Traffic for Johnny here, coming into the new lap. Not the ideal place to start a new qualifying lap. But he has put himself a little bit closer to the front row. Just all the 7s behind Blank now. Less than a second. DB Kung still looking good in GT4. Buzz struggling a little bit of pace at the moment in GT3. So Mark's on a connection troubles as sucks. We need the extra GT4 in this race because we've already lost a couple. We've got Brambo filling in as a reserve in GT3. But we need more. Oh, this is exactly what was happening to Red Bull before. Still looking the same up at the front of GT3. Brambo and Dazza have closed up the gap a little bit as well. Buzz warming himself up. It's definitely a bad connection day in Project Cars 2, lad. We've had all sorts of shit to do. Oh, yeah, looks like we're only going to have... It's a shame. So we've managed to lose 3 GT4s tonight. One due to connections. 2 due to other commitments. But anyway, we should still have a good race in our hands. 2 good races on our hands, hopefully. Weather at the moment is overcast. And we'll be moving into light rain for the second half of the race. Right on board with Johnny B through Maggots and Beckett's, why not? Right, the checker flag's out, qualifying blank's done. Johnny's just heading into final complex, a little bit loose. Has another one in the lap though, so must be close. Oh, a little bit loose on literally again. Wringing the neck of the Audi. Crosses the line, does he improve? Oh, he does. He does, he nicks second off Atu. Where's Atu? It's turn to come through the final complex. DB Kung's got pole in GT4 by quite a margin. He'll be happy with that. As Max sticks it in the wall. Atu any faster? No. Woohoo! Pretty close though. So Blank's your pole sitter in GT3. DB Kung's your pole sitter in GT4. Motormouth and the Dazzle just on their way to complete that. Dazzle with the last day in GT3. couple of corners. Here comes Dazza. Is he going to improve? We don't know. Oh, I hate it when the game pauses like that. Right, running through the full grid before we get going. Blank file on pole, Johnny B in second place, 4 temps back. Just ahead of Atu and Metal Dazza making up row 2. Row 3, Bramber and Matacake. Row 4, Whitford and Buzz. And then Kev's, row 4. And then the slightly depleted GT4 grid, unfortunately, due to connections. DB Khan takes pole. Motormouth in second. Redwood in third. Sea of Janettas, G32 Turbo takes 4th. And Satis brings up the rear in the Mustang. It's going to be all about consistency for Satis today in that barge. Right, just a quick 2 minutes while the guys sort out fuel and get their pit stop ready, because it will be raining about halfway through this race. Right, soon it'll be time for the start of round number 1 and the Curb Clippers British GT Championship, coming to you live from the wrong YouTube channel tonight, thanks to my PS4 tripping out. But we'll be back on the Curb Clippers channel next week for round 2. This is the first chance for the drivers to put down a marker this season. Good chance for the GT4 boys to pick up some good points for the rest of their field of beers next week. And we've got 9 GT3s to do battle for an hour. Starting in overcast, moving into light rain. Anything can happen. We've got a standing start as well. But here we go. Looks like everybody's ready. 14 cars on the grid. All the lights. Lights out. And the Curb Clippers British GT Championship is go! And the cameraman's a bit drunk as always. Down into the first corner, Johnny B's leading. Nicked ahead of blank file. All the GT3s through quite neatly. Motormouth leads the way in GT4. Great start from Motormouth. Lovely stuff in that Janetta. And everyone threw cleanly off the line. Great work from everybody. Back to the front. Johnny B leads the way. Black Top P2, Dazzle P3, Atu P4, Buzz P5, Brambo in the Porsche P6. As we head towards Cox for the first time. And GT3 guys in a nice formation. Oh, Daz has had a bit of an issue. He's dropped back. He's with the GT4 boys right now. As we're back up into a nice place on the road. Missed what happened there. So here they come. A little bit of a gap between 5th and 6th. Matty leading the way from Kevin Whitford. Whoops, a little bit loose from Kev down entry. Gathers it all up. Loses the place to Whitford though. Johnny B leads him through lap number 1. Followed by Black Fire, Atu, Brambo, buzzing on it, Matake, Whitford, Kebs, Dazza. Back of the GT4 motor mouth still leading. Hot on his heels, DB Kung. And a little gap back to the Redwood G32 battle. And Satis plugging away in that Mustang. It might be a long season for Satis. He committed to it though. And we love that. Back to the front in GT3. Just sizing each other up a little bit. Oh, Buzzer's dropped back. Got a bit of a top 4 emerging now, and then a sort of 7 to 8 battle. Sorry, 5 to 8 battle. Oh, as Buzzer's another little wobble on the curb. Keeps his foot in, gets away with it. Drunk cameraman. Maggots and Beckett's nice and smooth. And Brambo picking up out his slipstream. Looks to the outside. All side by side. You're going to hold it on the inside, I think, here. Into the Valen Club. Looks for the switchback. Switchback engaged, lovely little move that. Great pass from Bambo, takes himself up into P3 for now. Looks like Blank File nicks ahead of Johnny as well. While we were watching P3, the battle for the lead's changed. It's all changed at the front. Johnny B looks to fight back, Blank runs a little bit wide. A little bit compromised on the exit here. Johnny might have a chance. Bambo and Atu still at it in the background. Johnny B tucks up inside Blank's slipstream. Audi is quick in a straight line. Oh, great defending from Blank, just enough. Bambo hanging on to P3. Matty running quite well in the Mercedes so far in P5. He wasn't sure about the cars. Seems to be doing alright there, leading the way from Whitford in the Ferrari. Kev's in the Audi. Buzzer's dropped back even further, unfortunately. Something's happened to Buzz again, we missed it. Johnny and Blanco at it. Meanwhile in GT4, Motormouth still leads the way. He's got a little bit of a gap to DB Kung, but they still hold first and second. And there's a decent battle for P3 between Redwood and G32. Battle for first, battle for third. Down the hanger straight. A little look from Johnny B's point of view. Come out to complete lap number 4, lap number 3, on to lap number 4. Still very close at the front. Whoa, little bit hot for Johnny B, and that puts him straight back into the clutches of Brambo and Atu. We can see in the rearview mirror. Jump back to track side. And it's almost a four-way battle for the lead again in GT3. Daz has tacked up onto the back of Kev's here, fighting in a P7. Buzzer not too far behind them still. The 9 in GT3 are still only separated by 12 seconds. And this Motormouth DB Kung battle in GT4 is looking very tasty indeed as well. Just sizing each other up at the moment. Not making any mistakes. Close together. Same could be said for Redwood and G32. Their battle continues. You're looking to pick up the slipstream. Already lights ablaze in these overcast conditions. Whoa, that's very loose. He's going to save it, is he just? He saved it. He's lost a lot of time though. Lost a lot of time. Good couple of seconds lost right then, that was unfortunate. He gathered it up. No harm done, no damage. Live to fight another day. Buzzer's still ringing up the rear on GT3, but still got his sights set on Daz's behind. Brambo and Johnny look to squeeze up a little bit on fighting for P2. Top 3 in GT3 still separated by not a lot. BMW, Audi, Porsche. We know rain is forecast for this race, so it's going to be all about getting to the rain with a reasonable distance of the race leader, and you're still definitely going to be able to shout for the race win. Quick check in on the GT4 leader, Motormouth. He's looking on for a fantastic result here. I could be wrong, but I don't remember Motormouth ever winning a class at Curb Trippers. I would love to see it. When you got DB Kung in your mirrors, nothing is certain, especially with the rain coming in, but he's looking good so far. They've gapped G32 a little bit, who himself has gapped Redwood, and Sat is still plugging away in that Mustang. Going to be a long evening for Sat, I think, unfortunately. Oh, Motormouth's made a mistake. DB Kung's got through. The lead in GT4's changed. Just commentator's curse, that is. That's what I get. That's what I get. He's under that pressure. Motor's dropped it. Hopefully he'll have enough time to recover it. DB Kung leads the way in GT4. Closest battle on the track at the moment is still the lead in GT3. Just ticked over 10 minutes in. Good. Jump on board with Brambo show for a bit. Check out these two cars ahead. The rear end of Johnny B and Blank. Johnny B get a little bit loose on entry there, a little bit loose on exit as well. Stepping out the back end on that Audi. Brambo actually flapping faster than Blank and Johnny at the moment on the last lap. Whoa, slidey, slidey. Won't be too long until these GT3 boys start seeing a tail end in the GT4 field. Some traffic to worry about. For the Porsche exhaust. We might get some buckets again. Hanging straight into Stowe. Super fast. Slightly weird camber. Never quite get on the power as quick as you want to around there. Into Vale. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Down through the gears. Again, you've got to be patient on your throttle. Out of club. Out, start another lap. And move on to lap number 7. The Kerb Clippers British GT Championship well underway now. Nearly 15 minutes in. Blankfile leads the way. Johnny B second. Brambo in third. Atu in fourth. Just falling back a little bit from these guys. We're battling for the lead. Matty having a decent run in fifth in the Mercedes. Hope he's pleased with that so far. Kevin's looking decent as well in sixth. Whitford's just had a little issue in the Ferrari, I think. Has he picked up any damage? He's looking okay. Looks alright to me. Ferrari. Racer through in the McLaren in eighth as well. And then Buzz. Struggling a bit in that Renault. He had a good run at Snefton in the test event. Quite sure what's going on with Buzz at the moment. So we'll find out after the race. DB Kung's opening up a little 5-second gap at the moment at the head of GT4. The G32 and Reds are not that far behind in third and fourth. Blank's made a little mistake here. Johnny B's closer than he's been in a while. We head over the hill from Cops into Maggis and Beckett's at full speed. Maximum attack. Gap between these three has been about 1.7 seconds for about 5-6 laps now. Just holding station. And GT4 Motorhouse just slipping back into the clutches of G32 here. G32 Turbo looking to nick second place away from Motormouth in GT4. It's a shame we've lost a couple of runners to connection issues in GT4 tonight. But the 5 guys that are still putting on a good shape. Oh, Johnny's made a bit of a mistake at the front here. Johnny's slipping back, looking like he might lose second. It's costing both of these two guys time battling. Blank, meanwhile, is running away at the front. That gives Blank a little bit of breathing room as we cross the 15-minute marker. Definitely keep an eye on this top 3 battle for a little bit now. Closest battle on track. Oh, Matty's got past Atu. As he says that. Oh, Matty's spinning. He's just got up into P4. He's lost the rear end. You can gather it up okay. Hang on to P5. Where's Kev's? Yeah, a little bit further back. So Matty got P4. He's lost P4. He's back down to P5. Start that process again, hopefully. Trying to catch up behind Atu again. Battle for second. Oh, loose in the Porsche. Big oversteer. Well saved by Brambo. Working his rear tyres pretty hard. Oh, Buzzer's picked up a penalty and he's in the pits. It's a 10-second penalty. Is that a speeding in the pit penalty? Could be. He's even dropped behind the leader in GT4 now, Buzzer. That's an unscheduled pit stop as well. The race not going to plan for him at the moment. Oh, Blankfile just passes the tail end of the GT4s. Goes past Satis in the Mustang. So lap traffic begins. Blankfile still P1, Johnny P2, Rambo P3. Slightly larger gap than most of the race, but still pretty close. Brambo just tries to pick his way around the Mustang. What's he done? Good driving from everyone. Well, for the first time, the top 3 are a little bit split up. Breathing space. Let's wait for getting on. Closing back up on the back of Kev's after his little moment. Kev sticks the wheel on the grass. Buzz is dropping even further back here. He's dropped behind Motor and G32 now. I wonder if he's had a... don't know what's going on there. DB Kung 10 seconds ahead at the moment in GT4. Nice little lead. Hopefully it still keeps pressure on Kev. Back for the leader. 2.3 second gap over Johnny B. That's just opened up a little bit more actually. I wonder if Johnny might have run a little bit wide there. Slipped slightly back into the touch of the bamboo. Closing up this battle for P2. Brownway looking pretty racy in the Porsche. But right now this battle is really allowing Blank just to slightly stretch his legs out in front. Fastest man on the track at the moment is Blank file. As you move past a bit of GT4 traffic, that's Redwood being very polite. Oh, Johnny B's going to lose it here. Brambo's nicked it. P2 Brambo. Johnny B down to P3. Gathers up the slide. It's cost him a place. Just to maybe adjusting his line just a little bit on entry because that GT4 being there is just enough to upset the rear end of that Audi. Brambo says thank you very much. Now Brambo was the fastest man on track at a point. So maybe with clear air ahead of him he can get his head down, start trying to close that gap back up to Blank file. Blank file looking at the moment favourite for the race and possibly favourite for the championship. At this early stage, early to talk, but definitely laying a marker down. Whitford's past Kev for P6. That is, takes to the grass to let him through. That's a bit too polite for multi-class racing once again from these GT4 guys, but I appreciate there's not as many cars in their field as there will be next week, so nothing wrong with being polite. The battle for 6th rages on though. Matty's not a million miles away out the road. P5. They're still running pretty solid. What I've missed here is... oh no, there he is. I'm just chilling by himself in P4. Whoa, and having a big moment through the first corner. Off the track. Back on the track. Seems to be having a slight balance issue with the M6, a bit like he did in the test event with the Skyline. Not quite up to his usual super alien status out here tonight. DB Kung still leads the way in GT4. Looking good for a win at the moment. Increase that gap to 13 seconds. think the weather is about to start to change in roughly the next 8 minutes or so. We're going to be heading into some light rain forecast. As you can see, everyone dive into the pits once the slick tyres go over the tipping point. You could start to see the order jumbled up quite considerably. As DB Kung actually still holds P9 on the road ahead of Buzzing Hornet, who's now been lapped by Blank File. Won't make Buzz very happy. A little bit of damage down the left hand side of that Renault maybe. So you definitely had a bit of a trip off the road somewhere. Blank File puts another GT4 between him and the chasing Brambo. And Brambo is starting to just drive away from Johnny B as well, so Brambo's at least the second fastest man on the track at the moment. As Buzz a lap down jumps out of the way. And Brambo chases after the leader in GT4 to put a lap on him. Bit too polite again, really. I'm going to have work with these GT4 boys for next week. But again, playing it safe. He's enjoying a good lead out the front, looking on for the race winning points, so why get into a fight with a bright red Porsche if you don't have to? I'm not sure what's happened to Buzz. Not his day in that Renault at all. There's P1 and P2 are that far apart, so as DB Kung leaves Maggott and Beckett's, Motormouth enters. G32 enters as well. P3. Top 3 and GT4 not a million miles apart after 25 minutes of racing. Scooping up podiums. First round of the season, not too bad for those guys. Take advantage of the missing people. Sweepstake in the chat of when you think the rain's going to hit. And by rain hit I mean first man in to change onto wets. We're on lap 13 now. I'm going to say on lap 17. I reckon we'll see the first man in to change onto wets. I think I see a drop of rain. Do I see a drop of rain? Maybe not. Still looks pretty dry out of Blank File's windscreen. Through the sweepers. Shall be lovely and smooth, Blank File style. Oh, battle for fifth. Whitford gets through. Oh, what's this on the inside? What's happening here? Bit of GT4 traffic as well, but nothing to worry about. Blast back past that on the inside. He's lost a place to Whitford. Whitford's up to fifth in the Ferrari. And the rain is definitely falling. I see raindrops. It's raining, folks. It's Paulie, I said lap 18, I said lap 17. I don't know if we're going to get that far. Well, Whitford's got a little bit of a gap in fifth now. No wets for Blank this time. the gap between the top two and GT3. Johnny B coming through at P3. And then we got a bit of a gap back to Artie in P4, 15 seconds or so back. And lapping slower than the 3 cars ahead as well. I guess the lap times are going to start to drop off now anyway. And that M6 is not great in the wet either, so not sure if that is going to be trouble in the podium this evening. And then here we go, we got Whitford and Matty, and Whitford and Matty are pretty damn close. GT4 in between them at the moment. Of G32, nope. It's Motormouth. Still, wait, Motormouth's ahead. Motormouth's ahead. Is DB Kung pitted? Motormouth leads in GT4. DB Kung might have just stopped to come onto wet. Sorry, I missed that. We have got guys in the pits. It was lap 14 was the sweepstake. Satis is in. I'm going to assume DB Kung's on wets. Based on the amount of time that he lost, yeah. Yeah. Must be. Unless he had one hell of a moment. Yeah, it looks like he's got more grip than that GT3 of Buzzing Hornet at the moment. Probably still on slicks. Keep an eye on half the guys diving in the pits. Took me by surprise a little bit then. DB Kung coming in a bit soon. Yeah, maybe it is too early. Maybe Motormouth leads the way in GT4. Maybe he just lost it on his slicks in the wet weather. We'll wait and see. We'll see if DB Kung dives for the pits again, then we'll know for sure. But at the moment, no drama in GT4, whatever's happened. Motormouth leads the way. Fair old distance away as well. I mean, but Whitford's in. GT3, Ferrari into the pits from P5. Coming in for wet tyres, I guess. Means Matty will come round and retake 5th for now. It's weird that the TV camera can't cope with cars being in the pits here. Ah. Still waiting. Oh, that's definitely a time to change. Daz is in behind him as well. We get rolling first out of these two. DB, no wait, yeah, so G32 pits for GT4, Redwood pits for GT4, 3rd and 4th respectively in GT4 in the pits as well. Whitford leaves, Daz is still waiting to go. Daz wheel spins out the box, lovely. So Whitford and Daz are pretty much held position, we expect. These guys in next lap then. Blankfall still yet to pit, Brambo and Johnny B. We'll still get to pit. Johnny B's fallen back there. He's lost quite a bit of time since this weather started to spit with rain. G32's rolling. So these guys have held position in the pits. Yep, G32 up before Redwood. Redwood just starting to roll there in the bottom left of your screen. And Brambo dives to the pit lane. 2nd place from GT3. Blank stayed out. So Blank stayed out. Blank's pushing this on the slick tyres. He doesn't feel that he's on the crossover point there. This might be the pivotal moment of the race. If Brambo and Johnny B have an excellent outlap on the wet tyres and they've pitted at exactly the right time, Blank might find that he loses the lead here. Or potentially, he might extend his lead if this extra lap is a good idea. All 3 of 2nd to 4th are in the pits. He joins them in the BMW, all onto wet tyres now. So I don't think Matty's pitted yet. Is he going to come for the pits this time? Yep, in comes Matty as well. So that's everyone from GT3 pitted. Johnny B's rolling. Blankfall. Oh, he's coming. That's the other grid. Don't panic. Coming into Cops, halfway around the lap. Oh, it's his lead. Brambo's had a wobble on the way out. So it's 36 seconds lead that Blank's got. That's potentially enough for a pit stop. Looks like Blankfall might have played a blinder here. Zaki comes out of the pit lane. Still in P4. onto the wet tyres. Matty and Kev, the last two in. Complete their stop. Blank file in this time, surely. Haven't seen too many big slides from him there yet. Doesn't seem that fussed. I think tactically he'll probably want to cover off those guys on wets now though. Regardless of how comfortable he's feeling. Yep, he dives for the pit lane. The last man is the race leader onto wet tyres. We'll find out how good that decision was in about 30 seconds. Blankfire comes to a stop in his box. There he is. Where is Brambo? Get the map up. There you can see Blankfire stopped in the box. Still not moving. I think this is looking good for Blankfire though, I think. Expect to see that dot start to move. Yep, Blankfire's rolling. And I think he's going to retain the lead here. Brambo's going to be close, but not close enough. Blankfire emerges from the pit lane. Retains the lead. That's 6 or 7 seconds ahead of Brambo. From Johnny B. Another 10 seconds back. Oh, Blank's picked up a penalty. We've got quite a lot of penalties there. Let me give you that run through. So look at the time he's now after all the pit stops onto the wet weather tyres. Blankfire leads the way. Does have a 10-second penalty there. I think these are all speeding in the pit lane penalties. So he leads on the road by 12 seconds, but he only leads the race by 2 seconds. Brambo will have that information on his screen as well, so it's all still to play for really, ladies and gentlemen. Quite a lot of penalties. Speeding in the pit lane seems to have affected quite a few of the guys here. And DB Kung, who leads in GT4, has a penalty as well. So the leaders in both classes have 10-second penalties for the end of the race. Whoa, Atu spin from Atu out of P5. Dazzler takes P5 away. 360 from Atu in the wet. And here comes Kev to nick P6. Through he goes. Atu down to P7 in the BMW. The M6 not enjoying the weather so far. And there's Matty in P8 as well. Jump on board. Oh, that M6 is boating around. Whoa! Oh, that was unfortunate. Oh, Matty, unlucky there, Matty. Buzzer still. Fair old whack back in that Renault. Having a bit of a nightmare race. G32 leads in front of GT4. What's going on here? G32 leads. DB Kung's dropped it again. He's also vanished off the face of the earth, if the cameraman's to be believed. What's going on? Oh, DB Kung's dead. He's dead. He's gone. It's all over for DB Kung. He smashed it in the wall somewhere. G32 Turbo leads the race in GT4. All change in GT4 again. Red Bull up to P2. DB Kung is parked up. Motormouth just gone through to P3. Satis is going to get P4 in the Mustang just from finishing the race by the looks of it. Looks like it's got extra slipping out here for these guys. Johnny B's falling right back into the hands of Brambo. Oh wait, Brambo's lost it. Brambo's lost it from P2 as well. It's hectic in the rain. So Brambo's down to P3. What is happening here in the rain? Blank lost loads of time on the last lap, but he's still way ahead. I'm confused. It's madness in the rain. Well, the big gainers at the moment, since the rain came in, a blank file storming ahead at the front of the field. Johnny B has made a mistake somewhere, but has moved up ahead of Brambo, who's dropped it. Fastest man on the track last time was Whitford. Actually, I tell you a lie, fastest man on the track last time was Buzzing Hornet. So, it's chaos in GT3 at the moment, basically. The gaps are quite big, but the positions keep changing. And we've lost another GT... So we've lost... And we've actually lost another GT4. There's only 4 GT4s running. G32, Redwood, Satis and DB Kung in that order. DB Kung may as well get in the pits and get that repaired and just complete the race. Decent points to be had in the championship just from getting to the end. He's not too far away from the back of Kevin. Kevin. Give Samble to say him his full name. His full name is definitely not Kevin. Oh, he's gone round again. Kev up to 6. Matty up to 7. Matty down to P8. Yeah, the amount of struggle that I'm seeing from the drivers here is pretty crazy, really, considering it's only light rain. It must be a pretty heavy light rain session. It is tip-toe time in the Kerb Clippers British GT Championship right now. 40 minutes of the race gone, 20 minutes to go. It's a bit of a survival mission, especially in GT4. We're down to 4 runners in GT4, but we lost somebody disconnected. Rambo's suddenly losing 10 seconds a lap. And Buzz has suddenly discovered all the speed that he didn't have at the start of the race. He's now lapping, you know, decent enough lap times. And hounding the tail in the P3. But just a lap down, unfortunately. On a DV, not DV Kung. DV Kung's just going for maybe a limp around. Little Sunday drive with Busted Janetta. Satis on for a podium in the first race in the Mustang. And at the end of the day, hour-long race, you've got to finish it. You've got to start it, you've got to finish it in GT4. R2 hounds the back of Matty for P7. There's a couple of grain barges in the wind. There's a spinning something there. Oh, that's Kev's having some revolutions. Drops himself down to P8. Matty up to P6, out up to P7. This becomes the battle for P6. Only roughly about 8 laps to go, I think, at the Silverstone GP circuit. Round number 1 of the Kerb Clippers British GT Championship. Still got 9 GT3s running. The whole field in GT3 is running. Fortunately, connection issues have affected the starters in GT4. And then we've lost one runner. That's 15 drivers who made the event, 14 who managed to make the start, and 13 still running, so it's not too bad. Even if we've only still got 4 in GT4. Well, Matty runs a little bit deep on the brakes. And nicks through up to P6. Who immediately celebrates with a massive power slide. Puts them right back together again. And Kev's not too far behind as well. Hopefully these guys still enjoying their racing, even though it's got a little bit treacherous in the rain conditions. Just 1.5 seconds separating, that's easy to say. These three. Into Maggots and Beckett's again. Lap number 21. Kevs gets a little bit of a four-wheel drift on the go. And a little bit more than a four-wheel drift. Ah, oh, lucky there. Just the back end. Gets him righted, now I'm done. No danger of Buzz taking P8 off him right now. Hang on to that till they finish for sure. Brambo's lost P3, Whitford's up to P3 in the Ferrari, changed for the podium in GT3. Brambo's been struggling since the wet weather came in. Engine in that Porsche a bit too far back to be ideal in wet weather conditions. Chase after Ratty. Suddenly we got a big gap opened up between P2 and P3 though. Brambo is falling back like a stone. He's dropping like seconds and seconds a lap. I think whatever the setup he had on that Porsche, it was a bit too tuned towards the dry weather at the start of the race. Because he is falling like a stone right now. Oh, DB Kung lost it to a pit crew, didn't change his tyres. That's a bit of a classic bug, that is. Now we're going to still award points for just like sort of British GT style, IMSA style, as whoever's completed the most laps. So the guys in GT4 that have dropped out in fourth and fifth will still be getting those points. So we're still going to have 5-point scorers in GT4 from tonight. 5 guys who managed to make the start. In fact, I might even give 6 to Mark who DNS'd. Because of the connection issues. Probably do that in it, why not? Brambo still continues to struggle, but hangs on to P4. Melted Dazzler is not that far behind, just coming into turn 1, hanging it out. And the McLaren. Blankfeld's now the fastest man on the track by a country mile. He's going to walk to victory here by the looks of it. Z4 handling really well in the rain. Over 13 minutes left on the clock, completing lap number 22, enjoying almost a 30-second gap back to Johnny in P2 in GT3, and Whitford, the new man in P3 on the podium in GT3 in the Ferrari. Had a decent race. Whitford started out a little bit further back on the grid and worked his way up. Brambo struggling in the rain but hanging on to P4. Still see Whitford spray in the distance. Dazzler in P5, Kev's in P6, with Matty just in behind him. These two still having a decent fight. And then Matty having another spin in that BMW. I hope we get that car tuned in a bit better by next week and for the rest of the season, because we want to see Atty racing at the front, taking the fight to blank fire. And Buzz, who had all his problems in the first half of the race while it was dry, lost a lap. I think he picked up some damage just looking at the left hand side of that car. We missed it, but still revolving in P9, 9th on the road as well. And then we get into our 3 remaining GT4 runners, sorry. G32 Turbo looking on for his first win at Curb Clippers in any class. Redwood hanging on for P2, good points, first week of the season. Satis in P3. And then we've lost DB Kung P4. Whose pit crew couldn't change his tyres. Goalie and Flying Chicken did not start, so unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. Mark couldn't get in because of his connection issues. And Motormouth, I don't know what happened to Motormouth. He was leading the race at one point in GT4, but we lost him before we lost DB Kung, so he'll get P5 in the classifications in GT4. And we'll give Mark P6 because he at least made it for the race. It was only because PSN is terrible tonight that he couldn't make it. Here's Blank File coming up to put a lap on Matty in 7th place and Kevin 6th place, just ahead of him. These guys are under no obligation in endurance racing rules to dive out of the way, but Matty does spin out of the way. It makes Blank File's job a little bit easier. He doesn't lose place. I know Matty wasn't too sure about the GT3 class in general, but I think he did quite well when it was dry, struggling a little bit more in the wet. Hopefully he'll stick with GT3 for next week. So now Whitford is in P3 on the road, but he does have a 10-second penalty, so at the moment Brownlow seems to have settled down a bit. He's not losing time hand over fist like he was before. If he can stay in that 10-second window for 10 minutes, he'll still be on the podium. We don't honour many penalties here at Curb Clippers. We got them turned off for this race. Normally got them turned off all the time, but speeding in the pits is a real and authentic penalty. But we'll wait to see what all the guys say who've got the 10-second penalty, whether it was that or not, before we jump to any classifications. Right, just under 10 minutes to go for the final throws of this round number 1. Curb Clippers British GT. Blankfire looking good for the win in GT3. G32 looking great for the win in GT4. Battle for P3 continues though. Almost exactly a 10-second gap now, give or take. Still make Whitford the favourite because he's shown better pace in the wet, but and Brambo's going to have Dazza to worry about in a second, but Dazza also has a 10-second penalty. So even if Dazza closes on, oh, Brambo spins out of P4. Dazza up to P4. Another spin for Brambo in the wet. And now he can play the keep 10 seconds. Oh no, he's lost it again. Lighting up those wet tyres in the rain. Once they're hot, they're hot. No, GT4 nicks past. Class D to G32 on his way to the win. Whoops. Taking it nice and steady as G32. I think he knows he wants the points for that win. Brambo with a good, decent gap, yeah, and quite a large gap to P6, so it looks like Brambo should at least hang on for P5, but Daz is up to P4. He's recovered from early troubles as well. has a keeps lap number 24, drives onto lap number 25. And Brambo's in the pits. So potentially you might lose P5 there. Kev's coming down. Heading into the final two corners. Brambo's still stationary in the pit lane. Looks like he's going to nick it, just ahead of Brambo as he comes out. Kev up to P5. Brambo on fresh rubber in behind him though. Should be a good battle for the last 6 minutes. I'll leave the map up for the last 6 minutes so you can get an idea of how spaced out these GT3 runners are. Only 10 seconds separating the lead in GT4 after 55 minutes. G32 rounds Cops as the Red Bull comes into view down the straight. That is a one mistake sort of a gap. It's not all over in GT4. As Blankfeld puts another lap on Redwood. Keep an eye on that, because Redwood is flapping quicker than G32 as well. He's pulled in just over, what even is that? Just over 3 seconds, just under 3 seconds. Interesting. Late drama in GT4 potentially there. Not quite sure if G32 is just pacing himself to the end, or if he realises how close Redwood actually is. Brambo hound in the back of Kev's for P5 with the fresh wet tyres on. Kevs have done about 30 minutes now, give or take. Just under that. And a little bit of an advantage. We'll have a little look up the inside there, little dummy. Back to the outside. Kevs runs it a little bit deep. Brambo's going to be on the outside for the left-hander though. Go for the switch back once again. Doesn't quite happen. Nose to tail out onto the straight. A great bit of action here at the end of the race. Showing the nose up the inside, Brambo. To Brooklands and Luffield. Fantastic battle between the Audi and the Porsche in the closing laps. Oh, a little bit wide there from Kevs, puts the wheel on the dirt in the Audi, side by side. Through Woodkip. GT4 traffic up ahead as well. Into Cots. Oh, lovely stuff. Side by side again. Which way are they going to go around this GT4? I hope the GT4's seen him coming. Great driving from everyone. Oh, Brambo a little bit squirrely. Through Maggots and Beckett's. Still nothing between these two. Just under 3 minutes to go. Side by side down the Hanger Straight. Whoa, they nearly touched. Fantastic driving this from Kevs. We know Brambo's rapid, but Kev's driving fantastically, showing he belongs in the GT3s. Awesome stuff. They're side by side again. Still side by side. Through Vale, through Club. Brambo takes P5. It's a fantastic battle. We're going to stick with this battle. G32 still leads GT4. Blank still leads GT5. Their leads are looking pretty safe now. Blank will be heading on to the final lap soon. Oh, Brambo's lost the rear end again. They're side by side again. Kev's in the Audi, looks to run it around the outside. Nothing doing. Brambo uses the Porsche's extra traction. Blast out the corner. Let's quickly check where Blank File is. He's just ahead of these guys actually on track. Well, this might be the last lap actually. G32 and then G32 is just behind them. Good, we're going to have a nice little finish here with all these guys in together. Keep an eye on this epic battle for P5. These guys really sending this race off in style. Meanwhile, 1 minute left on the clock. Where's Blank File? Yeah, I think we're on the final lap. Blank File might just, if it's close, he might just back it off. We're on the final lap, I reckon. White flag's in the air. This battle continues. Brambo looks like he might just be nicking this. That's a great battle though. Fantastic drive from both of them. Comes Blank File into the complex for what will probably be the final time to take the win in GT3 and the opening round of the Curb Clippers British GT Championship. If he slows down, he might not slow down. He's going to slow down. He's done this before. P1 to Blank File in the BMW Z4. Great start to the championship as he cruises across the line. Brambo's nicked P5, come ahead of that battle. Kev's sideways. I hope that battle was going to the line. Great result for Kev coming across the line in P6. Johnny's going to get P3. Whitford P3. Sorry, P2. P2 for Johnny. Whitford P3. Rounding off the podium in GT3. G32 is coming in to win GT4. Great result for G32 Turbo. Wins the class. Redwood not that far behind. P2, there we go. Not separating those two GT4 runners at the end. First and second across the line. And then Satis battling him in that Mustang. Takes P3 in GT4. And we're happy at the finish. Anyone still running? Still running. Matty made it home in P7. P8 for Ratu, Buzz P9, no spoiler or Buzz. An adventurous race for Buzz, he does like an adventurous race. And that concludes round number 1 of the Curb Clippers British GT Championship. Once these guys get home, just waiting for Satis to finish up in his podium. Let's give Satis some camera time. We haven't seen him much, he's been out there battling the elements mainly. and his own car choice. But he's going to get P3 in class. This is a decent start to the championship for Satis Sounds. I'll give him his full original name then, Casey Satis as you know now. Buzz giving him a little guard of honour as he crosses the line. Last two runners coming home. On the podium in the Mustang. Decent effort. And there we go. Round number 1. Curb Clippers GT, British GT. Blank File takes the win. Johnny B in P2, Whitford P3, Dazza P4, Brambo P5, Kev's P6, Matty P7, Atty P8, and Buzz in P9 in GT3. Fastest lap actually goes to Johnny B. 2:02.29. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. 2:09. Yeah, no. 2.20 to Brambo. So Blank File takes the win, but he's only got the third fastest lap. That shows how important that rain weather was to Blank File. And then we got G32 taking the win in GT4. Great effort from him. Redwood P2 on the podium, and Satis P3 in a Mustang. And then we got DB Kung P4, Motormouth P5, Markin P6 and GT4, all classified. And then unfortunately 2 non-starters in GT4 as well. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry this has been on the wrong channel. We'll be back on Curb Flippers next week for round number 2 at Alton Park, the potentially sunny Alton Park. I've been your host Fry, thanks very much for watching. See you guys next week. Cheers.